Hey you, and welcome to Minecraft. Sort of. Yeah, what you're looking at is the map of my Minecraft server called Quillbriar. It's an odd shaped world, but it's home. It's home. I'm happy there. Um, and I realized recently, a couple comments people, messages people have sent me. I've got over 100 videos on this server so far. A lot of them came from live streams and they were labeled like 80A, 80B, 80C, 80D because we were, streaming for hours or something, and they were put into chunks, and they were basically just one video in chunks. So I, gave them all the same number. So there are well over 100 videos on this particular map. And if you haven't been watching all of them, of course, you see different recordings of, events that we've had, or competitions that we're in, or different builds that people are doing, but they don't really have any relationship to anything else that's going on. And somebody said, you've created an entire world there. Somebody who has seen a lot of the videos, and it is. We have gods and lore and history and connected histories. And there's only 18 of us. There are only 18 of us on all of this map. But everybody's got their own country. And what I'm going to do is I figured I'd break it into, the south, the central part, the old world, the eastern, the western, and the northern part, and give you 5 little videos that are quick overviews so you can just tie it all together and really get a sense of what it is we're doing here. So I'm going to start, oddly enough, at the beginning. And that is our spawn point right there. And the first time I ever played this map was some months, actually, before I opened the map to other people and got a Minecraft server. And I spawned, right there. And there was a bit of a hill here at the time. This was really, really thickly forested. And I just, dug into a hole. Brier Stone, if you've been over to his channel, he was with me. So we just had this little, teeny tiny room with the crafting table and no roof, and sat there all night going, please don't anything see us, please don't anything see us. And we spent like a day there just getting a couple of things and digging down a little bit. And then we took off and we figured we'd head south. Over a while, and I think it was a long day's hike, and we got into this area, and this again, there was 3 sort of just rocks, these mountains that stood up in the middle of nowhere sort of thing, and we dug into one of them. That's all we did with here, and it was, again, a little hole at night, and then we ended up digging up stairs and putting a little spot here and digging up more stairs and a little spot there. So it was never really much of a house, but it became home too, and we stayed there for weeks where I was learning the game. And I learned about planting, and I learned about getting wheat and having herds of sheep. There was a place, well, I'll be showing you that I'm building now, but there was a field south of us where there were sheep, and I would go over and they would follow you home, and I'd get them halfway, and herds of wolves would attack them and kill them all. And good times. It was so much fun. Anyway, this area has the most torches of any place ever in Minecraft, I'm told, because I didn't know, distance and spacing, and every time another creeper would spawn on the front porch, I just plastered more torches everywhere. This place was lit up like, the proverbial, New York Times Square Christmas tree. It was kind of ridiculous. So over time, it was time to move on, and I started doing a lot of exploring. Briarstone really wasn't playing anymore, and I was mucking around in here on my own. And you will see places like this up here where it's just where I've dropped torches saying I'm going in that direction. And if we were to get up close and do a little searching, you would see these tall towers with torches on the top. And a lot of the times they were places where I spent the night. I would just build dirt under me and get up high enough to be safe from the mobs at night. And other times I would use them as navigation. I'd put up a tower, lots of lights, and I would travel until I looked back and could just barely see it, and then put up another tower, lots of lights. And I would do that as a way of mapping, because I didn't know about coordinates. I didn't know about map programs like this. I didn't know about mods that you could put in, and all these helps and compasses and mapping, and I didn't have a clue. So I spent a lot of time and a great deal of energy building little houses along the way, trying not to get lost, occasionally getting so lost that in one case I ended up using up all the supplies, and I would take like all my inventory full of stuff with me when I went out so I could stay out as long as possible. But I ran out of everything and had to actually build a home and plant more gardens and do more mining and get the torches and get the armor and get, all the things again so I could even attempt to find my way home. But during some of these travels, I found way over right in this area here, I found a spot, and if you've seen the Whitehall videos, I found that place before the server opened and put a sign down saying, I'm building a town here. I fell in love, and that was the place I wanted to be. And then right over here where Impact Crater, this little mountain range right in there, I put a sign, this is Ava's Fishing Hole. And that one might have been right after the server opened. I might be fibbing on that one, but it was right around that time. But this one was definitely before, because the first night the server opened, I was bringing people over and showing them, I want to build something awesome here. So that had been, this whole area had been pretty well explored by me, and down in here as well before I ever opened the server. So I did a lot of hiking. I think I deserved the Explorer's Tabard. I did okay. But then I decided I wanted a second place, something a little bigger than the cat house. I wanted to, try out my new building skills. And I started wandering around, and when I got here, and I literally had no idea that this was the spawning area. I had lost that in the sands of time. I didn't have a clue where that was, but this hill, and it's hard to see, but this river runs right around like this. So, three sides of this, it was a hill, three sides, had a river down at the base of it. And I thought, what an amazing defensive position. I'm going to build a keep here. And Enderman Keep started. And I spent a number of months building up just this area here and starting this in front. And under all of here is Enderman Deep. If you've seen those videos, it sits right under here, and this is a stairway actually down to it. And this little thing here, this canopy type thing, covers the stairs that go down into Enderman Deep. But there were other connections. There's other ways to get back and forth between them, through the various mines and caverns and stuff that are underground. So weeks, months went by, and I'm, digging my little blocks here, and I start to put the wall up. And one day I get back here, and I see that same little structure that we had made that first night to stay safe. And I realized I had built Enderman Keep right around my spawning site. A little serendipity there. I like that somehow. I think that, it's my first proper home in Minecraft, and it now surrounds and keeps safe the spawning area for everyone else. So anyone who ever joins the server, of course, that's where they start. We have Headwound and Color Slide and Emma are all popping in and out, or at least saying hello. Can you see them? Yeah, you can see them on the map there. So, people get to see my first attempts at building something, and people sometimes come on the server expecting a lot, that, ooh, you've got a server, you must be good at this. And it's like, well, no, now you know the truth. Now, the big creeper here was a joke Brier Stone put up one night. I had been doing something along here, and I came running around off the bridge and turned that corner and saw the creeper and just had a complete total freak out moment on camera. So, if you've seen that, that's become something of a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's early in the morning. I haven't had my coffee yet. It's kind of a landmark now. It is a historical part of Quillbriar, and the creeper gets to stay. He needs a name, though. I think he needs a name. So anyway, so that was Enderman Keep. And then, I've moved out into some other things. But in this area, we have the royal stables, the royal stud here, where we breed the horses of Leckley. And Leckley is the name of my country in particular. And it is pretty much draw a line across right about here. South, for the most part, is just all mine. And yes, it's big. I feel greedy. I know this because, it's much bigger than everyone else has. But it's a big map, and everybody else is allowed to explore an open new map that, is, if they want a space, they can move out into that. And I just figure I intend to play for years. I will continue to invite a few people here and there as we, need a refreshment of new blood and that sort of thing. And you know, as the map expands in other directions, I just want to make sure I have room to build for years and years and years to come. So I just claimed a big old chunk, and right from this spot right there, the little colored things, that was the first night we opened the server. That's where the 8 people that joined us stood, and that's where the little competition we had started. So from that line south, it's all mine. Or at least up, you know, up to where the water kind of hits. But yeah, not exactly, but in the, you know, in that area. So at any rate, there's the stud farm, and if you've seen those early videos, you know that through some mod changes and things, we went through my beautiful, beautiful Mo Creatures horses, the original ones, so much nicer than the Minecraft horses now, which are kind of creepy. I'm not really liking them, but my really nice Mo Creatures horses got turned into rats. We had rats in the stalls, we had killer turkeys, and we had giant rabbits running around all over the place. Fun times, fun glitches, and the stud has just never been the same. Just never been the same. Anyway, this is my summer palace, what I call a summer palace, and there are videos again online of that, and I apologize, in the map here, some blocks, I don't know why these blocks don't show, because this roof is exactly the same as this roof, but you get these weird little glitches, so it's not going to look pretty in here, but at least it'll give you a broad sense of what it is you're seeing in other places. And that's my own little portal station that takes me, you know, one goes into Queen's Cross in Whitehall, and the rest of them just take me around my little part of the world here. So going south, this is the field where I got my first sheep. Yeah, that's great. And this is a village that I have started. This is going to be the village green here, and those bits and bobs you see in it are various traps and tricks that have been played on me by my lovely friends on the server when I have gone AFK for a moment, and I will come back and we be burning in lava and things. There's always something. So many of those. So that's just some stuff I have to clean up later. But this village is going to, you know, fill up this entire area, probably into here. This little place is going to have a ice hotel for next year's Winter Frost celebration. So that will be sitting over there. And as you can see here, this is the Winter Frost village where we celebrated the holidays this last year. And I have Color Slide to thank for the vast majority of this. I invited him to come and help me, and he turned out doing just about all of it. I did the trees and that building. Yeah, that's pretty much it, and he did all the rest. This is actually a portal station at Cedric. Isn't he cute? And then we've got a little house over here where people can stay. There were little igloos here for staying overnight. And, you know, the Ferris wheel. This is the official North Pole marker, giant snowflake. And as you can see, we have a glass dome going up, and here lovely old head wound, who is from GameSmart TV, that's his YouTube channel. He has taken on the rather daunting task of turning this into a giant snow globe. So next year we're going to be celebrating within a giant snow globe, and then going over to an ice hotel to spend the holidays. It's going to be tons of fun. It's going to be so cool. So he's dealing with all that glass, which makes me nervous on levels I can't even explain. But anyway, so there is going to be a port right here, and if you cross the port and go along over here, there is going to be another port, small, tiny, tiny village here, and there will be a castle that sits in this area somewhere. Now, out in British Columbia, Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, there is a house, a big home called Hatley Castle, Hatley, and when I was out there, I took about 1,000 pictures of the place, and it does sit around its own botanical gardens, but I am going, mine will be across of that, Kew Gardens, you know, whatever. But this whole area is planned for a large botanical garden, and Hatley Castle will be the main building, you know, the main center of the gardens there. We'll have a little swamp area biome. You've got that tiny little bit of winter right there, which is going to be perfect, and then we'll use up, you know, bits of desert on one side or the other for some other things. But this is just going to be vast gardens. I want a big Italian garden, you know, with fountains, you know, a Renaissance garden, knot gardens, just, you know, the Asian gardens, the dry gardens. I want all the things, big ones, big stroll through the day on. So this is what's going to fill that up. And as you can see, just up the hill from there, This is Wicked Fairy's big project, and she's getting a great deal of help from Color Slide, who is an amazing builder. And the two of them have done this, and it's far from being finished. When it gets done, I will, of course, be giving a tour. But right now, this is, not looking terrible. And this is Hogwarts. Oh yeah, so you'll be able to stroll the gardens and look up the hill at Hogwarts. It's going to be so fabulous. I can't wait. And as you can see, there's little markers through the way here. There's one, there's one. Anyway, they all run through here, and this is all going to be cleared, and Hogsmeade is going to be built over here as well. So if you get tired of walking in the garden, you can go over and and buy some all flavored jelly beans or something. That'll be awesome. This particular lake they built to go, the lake that goes with Hogwarts. This was all dynamited out and then filled by hand, and they did an incredible job. The lake is still and quiet and great for swimming. And honestly, when you realize how much work went into that, because it is quite deep, that's one of the biggest spills on the server, and it's just a big old hole in the ground, but it's really impressive. Just love it. So this is what's going on in the south side, south end of Lechley. If you head over here, now there are some things to the west, but I will show you those in the western video. And if you come along the road here, you get to this village, and when I talk about the village idiots, there they are. This was the first village I ever found on the map, and I had traveled something like 5 days to get from the cat house up through this area. Now it's not showing here, but there's a fair bit of mountains and some river that run through, and I was just completely and utterly lost before we got it, I got it all straightened and sorted and figured out where things were, but it took me 5 days to get here. 5 game days, of course. But I got here in the evening and went into one of the houses. There was not a torch in sight, and the villagers all come in the building with me, and then we spent the whole night with zombies banging on the door and skellies outside, and there was just mobs thick on the ground all the way through here. And you can see there's like plenty of torches now. But I spent the night, and at the crack of dawn, the villagers open the door and go rushing out, and all these mobs came in and attacked me. It was really traumatic, and I said, these guys are a bunch of idiots, and I'm afraid that has stuck. I do need a somewhat kinder name for that village. But if you continue along the road, and this road does take you, this road here goes north into Gold Garden, which you will see in an upcoming video, and it continues along this way, and we've almost got it meeting up. We're just, inches here and here. This is the road that comes from Ravenstone, and they will both meet up and continue on all the way to Whitehall at some point. And as well, there'll be a side road that goes over here to Blackthorn Manor. So if you continue along, now this castle, really, really bad view from this side. This is really made to be seen from the road, and this series here are just towers and walls, and then in steps up, more towers, steps up, more walls. It's really pretty. It is so beautiful coming along that road. And then this is a big, huge wall as well that drops off. And as you can see, all of this has to be built up in here because there will be a stable block going in. And if you look close, you see this is the back side of the mountain that we're working on. And I have created this mountain all the way down to that tower. And now the front looks good, and now I have to naturalize the back all the way down. Hag Yorkie sees the mountain, says, I'm going to take it out because I want to put in a fountain. I see a flat place and go, I want to put in a castle on a hill, so we have to build a hill to go with it. But yeah, this is going to be a big agriculture area. This is going to be planted all the way through here. Little village of farmers and staff members who work at the castle and don't have rooms there on site. This castle is called Swampstone, and this was put here by Arquise, and he is the fellow who has Gold Garden, who is our gardener on the server, and he built this over here. And you'll see in upcoming videos in the old world section that things are a lot like in Europe. It's a lot closer together and things like that. So he's been expanding, and this castle in Lechley is something that I was thrilled to have him come and build in my country, and it's beautiful, and it's not exactly a part of Gold Garden. It's more like a vassal, or they have a connection anyway with Gold Garden, and it is called Swamp Stone, but I don't remember the name of the lord or duke or whatever that lives there. I'm sorry, I can't remember all the things, but anyway, so this is Leckley South. Lots of other projects going on. It doesn't look like a lot when I look at this, but that took me 6 or 7 months. And this took a lot. And this took weeks. And yeah, when you put it all together with all the other things we're doing. Oh, and I forgot this. Like this village and what have you. These things take a while. Oh, and I have a little story. Serendipity, one of my favorite words in the world, and I just love the idea of it. I love getting to say it. I built Enderman Keep, and it ended up being around the spawn point. Then I built the summer palace over here, and in the basement I'm digging around, putting in staff quarters and a big huge kitchen and all these things. And I find this underground stuff, and I'd seen the kind of mines before, but there was something new here I'd never seen before. And there were like iron cells and long hallways and all these things. Libraries. I think there's 3 libraries under there. They're huge. And a dragon. Yeah, I have a dragon in my basement. That is so cool. And I had half the house up before I even found that out. So sometimes the gods of Quillbriar are just looking after me, and it's very nice and it's very fun. And so my spawn point is all protected totally by accident, and the summer palace has a pet dragon in the basement. Kind of fun. Now this little cabin I called Hideaway Home, and last summer you guys, some of you know this, my dad had died in the winter, like early in the year, and then I went on vacation trying to, cheer myself up, and I came back and my dog had gotten really sick when I was gone, and the people looking after her hadn't done anything about it, and she died the night I came home. And I was in a really bad place for months, and I had a concussion, on top of that, because, yeah, I mean, why do anything simple? Pshaw. But, well, let me say, I still had headaches from a concussion that had happened quite some time before, but it was in a bad place, and I really wasn't talking to anybody or playing or doing anything, and I left all the projects and came and built this little tiny cabin quietly all by myself, digging little holes, sitting on the deck, watching the flowers grow. It was, and now, it's a happier place. It's going to become a little vacation spot that will probably, connect all through here at some point. Oh, and there is a tree that I am in the process of building, a big giant tree. There are several floors. This is going to be a big home of something awesome. I don't know what yet, but it'll be cool, I'm sure. So that is Leckley. This is Quillbriar South. Oh, I think the last little bit way over here, Quillbriar is doing some building here, and we do have actual plans and drawings and the whole thing of a desert village, city, whatever, that is going to be going in here. But he's doing sort of this oasis thing with these ruins that he's building in the middle of that. So that's another, another big project. So Headwound is working on my snow globe. Color Side is over in Hazelwind. Emma was here a few minutes ago. In, out, gone. Okay, Emma might be live streaming. She's doing a lot. Oh, there she is. There she is. So Emma is over visiting at Hazelwind. So they're doing whatever it is they're doing. Check it out. Say hello. Oh, they're building something new. So there's another project. Color Slide is one of these guys that is always helping somebody with something. So I'm thrilled to see that other people are now helping him. So there we go. Quillbriar. My home. My home. This is where I live. And, boy, getting a Minecraft server has been such an incredible rush. And now we're getting a second one. During the month of February, I will be opening a second server for things like Mad Pack, Hunger Games, interesting ways to kill each other. Yay. So I'm going to stop now and have my coffee. This is a mug I got for Mother's Day many years ago. It says, the best things in life are the people we love, the places we've been, and the memories we've made along the way. And with that in mind, Here's to Quillbriar, the friends I've made, the great places I get to visit, and a lot of awesome memories that are being built in the process. So look forward to video 2, 3, 4, and 5 to finish off this map. And until I see you next time, live your life happy, make some fabulous memories, and always, always build it beautiful. Bye-bye.